Right, what's going on everybody? For today's video I'm going to be showing you how to cook a seafood plant-based dish. Now I just want to be transparent with you guys. I have done my research and the sustainability of this dish I've classed it as relatively sustainable. This is my own creation. I've been eating a plant-based diet for about 6 months and the only thing I've truly missed is seafood. There's no plant-based alternatives in shops or even in restaurants that really do replicate a seafood dish. But I've managed to execute that myself and I believe I've done it pretty fantastically. I've cooked this meal quite a few times and I've improved it enough where now I feel completely satisfied with the outcome of the dish. Easy to make 15-minute dish. A brilliant one to make with friends and invite family and friends over and cook them this dish. Even if they aren't on a plant-based diet, give them it anyway because they'll love it, I can assure you. As long as you like seafood, you'll love this dish. Right, let me show you what ingredients we need. Right, so for our ingredients, we're going to start off with the main ones. Our fish alternative will be tofu strips. I'm doing mine from frozen just because it's easier for me, but to do them from fresh, all you've got to do is buy a fresh block of tofu. You want to press that in a tofu press, cut them up to appropriate size strips, as long as you want, but keep them about 1 to 2 centimeters in width. You want to roll them in corn flour nice and thick, then you want to pan fry them in some oil, and then you want to drain it of all the oil, make sure they're all dry and crispy, and then they're ready to reheat and cook with all the ingredients. For your rice, you can use whatever rice you like. I think a nice and simple basmati or long grain rice works really well. You could also use like mushroom rice or vegetable rice, whichever you like. You have a lot of options here. For our other ingredients, we're going to use a fresh lemon and a fresh lime. You can use these from a bottle if you wish, if it's more convenient for you. Next, we are going to add some capers. We're going to chop up the capers and use caper brine as well to really add that ocean flavour to our dish. We are also going to use coarse sea salt. I do highly recommend the coarse sea salt over regular salt as it really adds that extra explosion of flavour to the dish and brings out all the other flavours in the meal also. An optional ingredient is some pepper for some flavouring. We are then going to add some garlic. You can add as little or as much as you wish. I just usually go for 1 large garlic clove. For when we serve our dish, we are going to want some fresh wild rocket, some fresh spring onion and some fresh dill, and the amount of each ingredient is entirely up to you. Very versatile. I would just go with personal preference of how much you like the flavors of each ingredient and decide how much you want of each. So the first thing we are going to do is we're going to boil some water in a pan. We are then going to add the rice. Once it's boiled, we are going to heat that on full heat for about 11 minutes. We are then going to add some vegetable oil into our frying pan. Once that's heated up, we are going to add our tofu strips into the pan. We're going to cook those on medium to high heat for about 8 to 9 minutes. Whilst that all cooks, we are going to chop up our spring onions, we're going to crush our garlic, chop the dill, and prepare that for the rest of the meal. Once that's all prepared, you can now add the salt and pepper to your tofu strips. Then you want to cut up your lemon and lime in halves, but you want to save 1 wedge of the lemon to serve. Then you want to squeeze the lemon and lime in the frying pan using your other hand to catch any seeds that may fall out. Just be careful doing this as it can splash oil, which will be very hot. Whilst the tofu soaks in the lemon and lime juice, you want to drain your rice through a sieve. Once you've done that, you want to let the sieve sit over the pan to drain even further so it's nice and ready to serve. Whilst the rice continues to drain, you then want to add your final ingredients to your frying pan. Your chopped capers, caper brine and your crushed garlic. I forgot the chopped capers simply because I was maintaining 2 cameras and cooking at the same time. But you want to let all those cook together for about another 1.5 minutes and then it will be ready to serve. Right, so after an absolute mess of cooking this food, I'm going to give it a try. Like I say, I improve this dish pretty much every time. So we're going to grab some of the tofu strips for the rice, obviously with all the herbs and seasoning on that. We're going to pinch a bit of rocket there as well, I reckon. the flavours that you feel, you can't quite tell where they're coming from, but they all work together extremely well. And like I said, this is my own creation. I'm no experienced cook, as you can see from the mess I've made, but this is a great plant-based seafood dish. I'd honestly, if I can find one that like tops this, it must be incredible. And that's not to make myself sound up myself, but I've got high standards when it comes to seafood because I've eaten so much seafood before. I love my seafood, but with these plant-based dishes you just can't find something that quite replicates it, and this is the only thing I found that has. Alright guys, that was such a delicious meal. I've just finished it. I'm feeling very full. It definitely makes you feel very satisfied, as well as it gives you that feeling of when you eat healthy food and you just feel great. So if you cook this meal, let me know how you find it in the comments, whether that be the flavour in comparison to actual seafood, or just if you like the flavour in general. Let me know how you found the process of cooking it. Right, thank you all so very much for watching the video. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, remember to like and subscribe. There's a channel logo at the top, you can subscribe there. In the bottom left, I'm going to put a playlist for my Ivel Springs litter picks, and in the bottom right, there's just going to be a recommended video there for you. Hope you guys have a fantastic day.